So I've got my 22 gauge out. I had said don't worry about if this is a little bit loose sitting on your pearl. I don't know if I got that part recorded. We're going to tighten it up when we add the wire. Because if you'll notice here how snug the beadwork fits to the pearl, it's because we used this wire in the way that I ran it through behind these little right angle weave units. It makes everything pull together really nice. So I've got my wire still on the spool. It's because it makes it a little bit easier to not waste wire when you work this way. So I want to get it into the pearl. I'm going to take this wire, I'm going to come down between those two blue beads, right behind my right angle weave unit on the end of my tube. I'm going to come through there, and then I'm going to come through my pearl. Before I push really far, I'm going to use my finger on the other end to make sure that the wire comes up in the same position here, behind the little 15-0s and in between the two blue beads here of the last row on our tubular herringbone. Then I'm just going to push it on up in there. I'm going to pick up, similar to what I did here, only using a bigger bead. So I'm going to pick up an 8-0. Then I'm going to pick up a 15-0. And you might have to try a couple to get them to get one that fits on your wire nice. And we'll slide down where it needs to go. I might have a little bit of a snag here on the end of my wire. Sometimes you can get them on there, and sometimes you have a little struggle. Anyhow, so I'm picking up an 8-0, a 15-0. Then I'm going to pick up my 6-0, or my size 6 crystal, and then another 15-0. So it's Murphy's Law of YouTube's videos that whenever you're trying to do something on air, you always run into a problem. So I finally got my beads on. So I have an 8-0. First I put my wire through my component. I picked up an 8-0, a 15-0. Then I picked up my 6mm crystal and one more 15-0. I'm just going to move them down out of my way. We're going to make a wire wrapped loop on this end of our wire. I am going to use my round nose pliers, my chain nose pliers, and my flush cutters, and probably another pair of chain nose pliers while I do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little ruler here, and I'm going to measure myself about 1.5 inches right here. It's a pretty good measurement to use where you don't have a lot of waste. Then I'm just going to take my chain nose pliers and grab that wire right there at that mark. I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to bend that wire forward till I have this cute little L shape, like that. Then I can pick up my round nose pliers. And if you'll notice, I have my round nose pliers marked so that I can make the same size loops each time. And I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to lay it right across that mark. And I'm going to bring the, the pliers closed. Just like that. Then I'm going to take my finger here on the back. And I'm going to push this wire up and over around my pliers until the two wires meet like that. Then I'm going to open my pliers and roll them around, but I'm going to make sure that my loop stays on that mark right there. Close them back up. Then I'm going to continue on with my wire. I got off a little bit here until I come across the previous wire and then back in an L shape on the other side like that. I'm going to take this round nose plier out of the mix. Then I'm going to pick up my chain nose pliers. I'm going to use this pair to hold my little loop I made. And I'm going to grab that loop as close as I can to where I broke the neck and the wire crossed back over. It's called breaking the neck. So here I am around here, and I'm going to grab up my other pair of chain nose pliers. I'm going to start wrapping. My wire running this way has crossed over the top of this wire. So I know my first round I need to go under. So I grab this. I'm going to go under as far as I can go comfortably, is staying in alignment with this pair of pliers. This line here is the line I'm trying to follow with my wraps. I'm going to reach under and grab my wire and bring it up. I'm going to bring it back across, try to stay as close on the line like that as I can. And if I have to, I can come on this side and bring it on down and back around like that. And I'm going to reach under and come back up. So that is 1.5 And then this would make 2. So now I have 2 wraps. I'm going to do one more half of a wrap. I'm going to grab my wire, come under, reach around under, and bring the wire back over to this position here. And then I'm going to stop. I'm going to lay those down, and I'm going to grab my flush cutters. On your flush cutters, here's what they look like from this angle. I particularly, the name is here, the Beadsmith, so I'm calling this the top of my cutters, which I always do. And then this flat part is the back. When you're cutting away your excess, you want the part you're going to throw away to be coming to the top of those pliers. You want the part you're keeping to be closest to the back of your pliers. We'll go ahead and take our pliers and get it in there as close as we can and snip off our excess. And get rid of that. Now, before we move our beads up, if you've got any little sharp edge here, you'll just want to take your chain nose pliers, and you'll want to work with those until you can push that little piece. See how I'm rolling that around like that? Until it rolls into position under all the other wires and you don't have any sharp points. So now that's good. I don't feel anything. So now I can slide all my beads in my little component back up to this end. And now on this end, I'm going to do the exact same thing, only I'm not going to put a crystal at all. I'm just going to use a 1/8 and 1/15. So I'm going to go ahead and snip off and leave myself I probably don't really need a whole 1.5 inches this time, but I like to have enough to work with so that it doesn't, so I don't run out of wire or make it really hard to wrap. And I don't mind throwing away a tiny bit. So I'm going to leave myself about a 1/2 inch. And if you'll notice when I'm grabbing this, the back part of my pliers is facing towards the wire I'm keeping. And then I snip. And I can move my wire out of my way. So now we have this. I want my loop on this end to go the same way as this loop is going here. So I'm going to hold my work like this. And if I mess up, it's okay because it's really easy to fix. But anyhow, I'm going to take my chain nose pliers again. And I'm going to, oops, I got to put my beads on. Sorry, folks. Let's get our beads on. We're going to pick up our 8/0 and we're going to pick up a 15/0. So I'm going to hold my work like this so that my crystal is laying on my finger and my loop is facing upwards like that. I'm going to grab my wire on the other end right above my 15/0 C bead like that, and then I'm going to push the wire over and form my L just like we did previously, just like that. Then I'm going to pick up my beautiful little round nose pliers and I'm going to come in here and lay the L right onto the mark on my pliers. And now you'll see that my loop is coming towards me. I can't see the hole in that loop, and that's good. So now I'm going to bring my wire right over the top, just like we did before. Then I'm going to loosen my grip and spin over this way. Then I'm going to drag the wire on across, just like that. Until now the wire is coming out over the top of that wire, but over to the left. You can see that my 2 little loops pretty much line up pretty good. So now I'm going to grab with my chain nose, and I'm going to make sure that my beads stay positioned down, but I'm going to get as close to that neck as I can get. Pick up my other pair of chain nose. Remember, this wire is coming over the top of the wire that runs long. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to come behind. And I'm going to come around to this side. I'm going to come back across, reach over and come down, then reach my pliers in and come up. I'm going to come across this time, I come under, and then I come up. And that is my 2.5 wraps right there. Now I can, before I let go, I can take my 2 pairs of pliers, grab my loops, and make sure that they are straight across from each other. Both going the same way, like that. And now I can cut off my excess wire. So let's go ahead and find the back side of our snippers and put that closest to our work that we're keeping. Snip the little piece off that we're not keeping. Take our little chain nose pliers and roundly push that wire over so that we don't have any sharp edges there. So now I have this little thing done. And to finish up, we just need to make our little teardrop loop. Now, you can do a wire wrap loop for your little drop component if you want. I just chose to do a simple loop for that so it has a nice, really good dangle to it. But I'm using a head pin because I need something to stop these from sliding off. I'm going to pick up an 8/0 first onto my head pin. Let's see, my head pins are 2-inch head pins. Then I'm going to pick up my teardrop bead and come from the fat part to the skinny part. And then I'm going to pick up one more 8/0 bead. So that's what I have. We are just going to do a simple loop on the end. And I think I'll use my looping pliers for that. So I have these nice little one-step loopers for stuff like this, so it comes out really easy to do every time. You just take your little head pin. I'm going to go under that little round bar right there, and I'm going to make sure that all my beads stay brushed up against this black piece right here, and that this piece, the excess, pokes out the little hole over there. And try not to get my seed bead in there because I don't want to bust it. So once I have everything in position, I just simply close it like that. And then you just got to wiggle it till your little thing comes off here. Come on. And now I have a cute little one-step loop right there that I can use to attach to my wire-wrapped loop. So I take my chain nose pliers and I open that up just a little bit. I'm going to take the end of my pendant that doesn't have the crystal, and now I'm going to hang it into my little loop right there. Then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to come in here and close up this little loop, just like that. And if I want to, I can give it a little squeeze. And there is the matching pendant to go along with my earrings. So you have two options for how to use your pendant. You can turn your wire wrap loop this way and simply run a chain straight through it. You can turn it back this way and then connect a bigger jump ring, run your chain through the jump ring. There's a million options of how you can do this, but that is how I'm going to proceed for now. I'm not going to add my changes yet because I'm not done with this project. For the earrings, it's the exact same technique. The only difference is that I started with 14 rows of my tubular herringbone on the pendant. For the bigger pearl, I did 16. I used 4mm crystals here. On this one, I used 6. Everything else is exactly the same. The wire wrapped loops here at the top, wire wrapped loops here, simple loops on the dangles down there. In a separate video, I'm going to be doing the ear wires because I want to do a fresh one for my blog. I'm thinking I'm going to do a beaded link video to spruce up the chain that I want to make to go for the pendant. So look forward to those coming really soon. All right, folks, that's it for now. This is actually, meant to be a companion for the blog post that I'm writing up for the pearls on the half shell. So if you want to check out the rest of it, or if you'd like to see how it all plays out in writing form, head on over to the AlluringBeadBoutique.com and check that out. I got some great new patterns out this month. I got a new necklace, the Wild Roses Vine necklace video coming to you here on YouTube, which is just an adaptation of Donna Graves' bracelet. I just used some different size beads and used some different color beads too to change it up and make a necklace for a friend of mine. All right, that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching and have a good day.